Hello girls, guys and non-binary pals, I'm Salmon and this is my channel Jolly Salmon. I'm a cosplayer from Poland and I make videos about cosplay and sustainable living. This week I would like to answer your most frequently asked questions. So as you may know, I am quite active on TikTok, where I try to educate young and beginner cosplayers about what cosplay is and what it isn't. So because it's TikTok and sometimes the reach isn't as good, and because there is a lot of content I post, some things I say get lost in the amount of content. So this is a video in which I try to answer all of these things because I am a little bit tired of answering them all over again. So I will be answering 5 of these questions and we'll see if I gather some more after spending some more time on the app. So let's get into it. So the first question I would like to answer has actually been answered by me in my wig guide part 1, which is in the cards, you can watch it. And I think it has been answered in my first ever YouTube video, which is 5 tips for beginner cosplayers. However, many of you might not have watched it yet, so I strongly encourage you to do so. And here is the question: do I have to wear wigs for cosplay? And the short answer is no, you don't have to. But the longer answer is quite more complicated. So wigs are absolutely not necessary to do a cosplay, but in order to do a very good cosplay, you might want to consider wearing a wig. Consider a wig an ingredient in a very complicated meal. When you omit this ingredient, the meal is still going to be edible, but it might not be as magnificent as it might have been with the ingredients included. For example, I hate spicy things and I don't include jalapeno, piri piri, Tabasco in anything. But for some people, the things I make without Tabasco are absolutely flavorless and they aren't as good as the spicy things that I might have made. And it's the same with and without wigs. You can cosplay characters that have similar hair color or similar hairstyle to you. For example, here are some of my favorites that share the same color with me, and I can cosplay them without a wig. However, I would be inclined to use a wig because wigs are way easier to style, and if I mess something up, I'm not going to have to cut my hair. I can just throw the wig away or use it for something else. Wigs tend to stay in place better, they look better in photos, and they can be repurposed into many things. And hair, especially if you have wavy hair like mine, is very unruly and it can be frizzy and it's just a mess. So I encourage you to use wigs. However, if you cannot use a wig, at least try to make your hair look like the character's hairstyle. For example, if a character wears ponytails, you want to wear your hair in ponytails and not just have flat, loose hair because no one's going to recognize you. Wigs are a tool that make you resemble the character more and make you more recognizable. So if you don't use wigs because you don't want to, or you just can't use wigs, or you don't have money, it's okay. But be prepared that some people just might not recognize your character. Second question is very similar to the wig one, and it is: do I have to wear contact lenses in order to cosplay? And again, short answer is no, you don't have to. But longer answer is, just like wigs, contact lenses make you resemble the character more and make the viewer see the character instantly. So, for example, Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender is a character that has very recognizable eyes because she's blind, she has white eyes all over. So seeing Toph with striking blue eyes like mine would be very, very bizarre for the viewer. But contact lenses are very invasive. They are far more invasive than wigs are. So there is a very, very high probability that you cannot wear lenses because your doctor said so. So, because you don't want to waste your eyesight. We only have one set of eyes in our lifetime and one eyesight, so we do not want to destroy it for cosplay. You simply do not want to wear contact lenses if your doctor said no. Or there are some instances in which wearing contact lenses can be very, very hard. For example, I had one photo shoot in which I just couldn't get my eyes to work with lenses. They started watering, they started hurting, they just didn't like the contact. I haven't slept well that day, so it might have contributed to my eyes just not tolerating lenses. So I told my photographer to change the eye color in Photoshop because I couldn't wear lenses that day. And it is perfectly valid to change your eye color in Photoshop if you cannot stand lenses that day or at all. It is even acceptable to not wear lenses at cosplay contests, but you have to tell the judges that you cannot wear lenses at all or you just couldn't get them into your eyes that day, because they have to know that when grading and rating your costume. So just tell them. Like, wearing contact lenses is not obligatory. It's just a gadget that makes you resemble the character more. If you just cannot wear lenses, then don't. It's perfectly fine. And your eyesight is more important than being a cartoon character. Number 3 is a very similar question because it also starts with, do I have to? And it is, do I have to make the costume myself? No, you don't have to make the costume yourself in order to consider yourself a cosplayer. Many cosplayers, beginners, very established ones, do buy costumes from online stores or even make costumes from thrifted outfits. Of course, there are people that really enjoy the crafting aspect of cosplay, and those are people that would say that being a cosplayer is being a maker and being a craftsman person. No, being a craftsperson. Yeah, that's how you say it. So for these people, crafting their costumes is essential to considering themselves a cosplayer. But we as a community are trying to combat that notion that only the people who make their costumes themselves are valid, because you are valid with your costume made from 3 thrifted pieces. You are valid with your bought, I don't know, Boku no Hero Academia uniform from AliExpress. You are valid if you commissioned an artist to make the costume for you. And you are valid if you spend countless hours on making your costume, like me. So the most important thing in being a cosplayer is wearing a costume and simply having fun in it. You do not have to make your costumes yourself. However, it is very fun to make your costumes and be very proud of how and what you made. Question 4 is actually, again, a question I answered in my wig guide part 1, and it is about containing all of your long hair under a wig. So, there are 2 ways in which I hide my hair underneath a wig cap. The footage will be here. I will insert it in here and narrate over it. So the first thing I do whenever I feel very lazy and I need my hair to be contained loosely underneath a wig cap for photos or for some videos or TikToks, I simply make a small ponytail, a low ponytail on my hair, and I just flip my hair and I use the wig cap as shown on this video, and I smoosh it. I try to flatten it as much as I can. I can get rid of the hair tie, but most of the times I don't. And then I use a second wig cap. However, you have to be very, very careful, because sometimes if you wear 2 wig caps, then you can get migraines, or you can get a headache, or you can even faint. So you have to check what is comfortable for you and what your body accepts. My body has not had any issue with wearing 2 wig caps. Like, my head is very hard and sturdy, but you cannot risk your health when doing cosplay, so simply check it at home, not at a convention, and be very, very wary of your head area. And the second way of containing long hair underneath a wig cap is simply doing 2 long braids. You can do French braids or regular braids. I did it again. I did it in my wig video and then I did it here. So braids. You do 2 braids, French braids or regular braids, and you simply wrap them around your head. You use bobby pins or pins to secure them, and you use wig caps, and you're good to go. There is also a third way that is called a pin curl method, or snail method, I think, and it has been explained by me in the video I told you about in Wig Guide Part 1, and it is used in theatre and opera. Now that the wig cap question is out of the way, number 5 is, how do I cosplay a character of the other gender? There are 2 ways in which you can turn yourself into the character of the opposite gender to yours. One is called crossplay and the other is called gender bend. Crossplay is the art of basically cosplaying the other gender, and it is hard, at least for me, because it includes changing your appearance in order to look more masculine or more feminine, and basically look the opposite to how you look normally. So for example, for me, this included making a fake beard or contouring my face to look like an anime boy. There's also another aspect of turning yourself into a boy, and it is binding your chest with a binder. I don't know anything about binding because I don't own a binder. I know that taking a bandage or taking tape and wrapping yourself is not healthy, and that is the only thing I know. So I am currently doing a little fundraiser on my Ko-fi. If you have some money to spare and you want to maybe support my channel and my cosplays, you can donate some money and I can buy myself a binder for my crossplays, because they are hella expensive and I spent a lot of money on materials for my next cosplays and I don't have enough money to buy a binder. So if you want to help me with that, you can consider supporting me on Ko-fi or on Patreon. But enough about binders. The second way to cosplay the opposite gender is called gender bend. Gender bend is actually the art of making the character be your gender. For example, I did that with Yasuo, and my Yasuo cosplay is very fluid when it comes to gender, because I tend to say that he is something, but I wear bra when cosplaying Yasuo, and I sometimes say that it's a gender bend because it was, but it's not, but it is. So basically what you do when you do a gender bend is you take the character and you change it into your gender. For example, you add a bra or an armored bra, or you change the features to make your character be female. For example, you give them long hair, or you give them boobs, or some people make their gender bends very sexy, which I can't say that I endorse, but I have nothing against that, I think. Like, if you want to make them sexy, I guess. But making a gender bend can include adding some typically feminine or typically masculine pieces to your costume, which can be a bit problematic because clothes don't have gender, and sometimes adding lashes and heels to things is a tacky way to make them feminine. Anyway, it's a very broad topic, so here are my ideas for making your gender-bent cosplay. So my Yasuo cosplay is basically a one-to-one copy of Yasuo, but with a bra. I decided to do a Mulan type of bra in which it's just bandage wrapped around his chest, or her chest, their chest. And it was a great way for me to ease into making crossplays, because I wasn't comfortable enough with masculine makeup at that time, so I improvised and made Yasuo a female. But right now, I think I could pull off a male Yasuo with like a fake chest and with a beard maybe and some masculine features, so stay tuned for that because this is going to happen in 2021. So you can simply transfer the costume basically the same into the feminine realm and just cosplay with your own face and with like lashes and stuff. But you can also change the style completely. For example, my Han Solo gender bend wasn't that different from the screen version, but I've seen some on the internet where the person simply wore a skirt instead of pants. Here I will credit them. So there are a lot of ways in which you can cosplay the other gender. If you have any questions, simply comment them or DM me on Instagram. I might want to help with that because this is an exciting project. Every time someone takes a character and does their own version, their own spin on the character, it's very exciting and I am very interested in seeing your results. So, those were 5 most frequently asked questions on my TikTok, on my Instagram. No one actually asks me questions on Instagram, so you can change that. You can ask me questions on Instagram, on here, on TikTok, on Facebook, anywhere if you have any more questions about cosplay and sustainable living. So if you liked this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. Comment your favorite things or your questions, suggestions, topics for next videos, anything you really want. You can even comment the salmon emoji or, I don't know, pierogi emoji, because who doesn't like pierogi? We love pierogi on this channel. If you want to support my channel, you can consider donating to my Ko-fi or signing up for my Patreon for early access to these videos and other rewards. They are all in my description, as well as all of my social media where I post my cosplays and actually anything that comes to my mind. So if you want to catch up with me, then you can tune in on my Instagram stories or on my TikTok. I post wacky stuff, memes, and cosplay works in progress, so I guess it's entertaining. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching and thanks for making my little YouTube dreams come true. See you next time, bye!